Hello Capricorn, this reading is for Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising for the new moon period in Taurus, which is from May 6th through to June 5th. Now, this particular new moon, Capricorn, is going to be highlighting your 5th house. That is the house of creativity. It's the house of romance, of dating partners. It is the house that also covers your biological children, so anything going on with them or activity, in that area of your life will fall in your 5th house. Your 5th house is the house of risk-taking. Gambling, speculation, the stock market, things like that will fall in your 5th house. Now, the new moon is there, which means that this is the time for planting seeds, setting your intentions out to the universe for things under the 5th house, 5th house consideration to grow over the moon waxing period. Now, however, right now we have 5 planets in retrograde motion, which are Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. And Mercury, who we know is the communication planet, is moving in retrograde motion in your 5th house. So what that means is that you may experience some delays, some setbacks, maybe redos, do-overs. It's a period of time in your life where you may be thinking about, rethinking, social or romantic connections. When Mercury goes retrograde in our 5th house, many times we run into partners, former partners, former loves. They will all of a sudden call out of the blue or pop up, or you'll run into them somewhere. And this will give you a period of kind of reconsideration as to what happened to that relationship. If it is something where you are still caring for this person and there's a mutual attraction there, you may become involved again with this old or former love. However, keep in mind that when Mercury moves forward, you may recall, or there may be reasons that come to you as to why the relationship did not work out in the first place. So, depending on your situation in life, that other person's situation in life, and perhaps the influences on the relationship, you will know when Mercury moves forward whether there is perhaps a viable chance to become involved again, or to continue the relationship, or if it is better off left in the past as your history, okay? Now, in the 9th house, in your 9th house, we have the planet Jupiter, which was going retrograde, is moving forward on May 9th. So your 9th house is your higher education, your higher mind. The 9th house rules long distance travel, publishing. So, if you're about to, put up a website, if you're writing a book or recording an album, or, some way that you are presenting your creations to the mass public, to an international audience, those things are going to fall in the 9th house. It is, as I said, higher education, so there may be, some of you may be going back to college, some of you may be taking new vocational training, and also the 9th house rules overseas, foreign countries, so there may be some travel, as I said, to overseas countries, or there may be a connection or reconnection with people who live in other countries, or people from different ethnic backgrounds than yours, or national origin. Okay, so these are the areas that are going to be highlighted. Now, with that Jupiter is the planet of luck. Jupiter is the planet of expansion on a spiritual, personal, and material levels. So you may find that when Jupiter went retrograde in January, between January and the beginning of May, there may have been some disruptions in your life or some kind of unexpected events that have taken place that kind of tested you in that area. So if you were trying to get something published or get something out into the public eye, you may have had some setbacks with that. You may have lost funding. Jupiter has a lot to do with our wealth and our money luck. So there may have been a loss of or delay in funding behind large-scale projects that you may have been involved in or creating. Know that when Jupiter moves forward, you should be receiving some good news, good luck news about that 9th house area. So maybe some of you are being accepted into a educational program in college or a new school. Some of you may be receiving scholarships. Some may be receiving job offers. Job offers overseas, or have the opportunity to receive a offer to travel to an international country. So many different variations or possibilities there. Let's go ahead and see what the message is for Capricorn for this new moon cycle in Taurus. What is the message for Capricorn for the new moon cycle in Taurus? Message for Capricorns for the new moon. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. If you'd like more of a detailed reading, a private reading, please contact me at my website. I'll be happy to schedule that for you. Also, if you'd like to know where the 5 planets are in your chart that are in retrograde motion and how they're affecting you, we can also take a look at those planetary transits within a private reading. So this is for Capricorn, and I've already previously shuffled the cards here for you as well, Capricorn. Alright, we have the Fool in the past. We have the 8 of Pentacles reversed at the base of the recent past. We have the 6 of Cups in the recent past. We have the 10 of Swords in the center. We have the Queen of Wands reversed crowning. We have the Justice card reversed at the base of the deck of the reading. We have the 5 of Cups in the near future, the Strength card reversed, and we have the Hermit in the outcome. Alright, so let's just take a look and see here what's going on with Capricorn. At the base of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so let me just take a look at this and see what the message is here that I'm receiving. Alright, so initially I am drawn to this 10 of Swords, which, we know is not always the happiest card. And what it leads me to do is to ask, what is on you right now, Capricorn, that may have you feeling that something majorly upsetting or some major change has happened, or you are feeling that someone has come into your life or come back into your life and either thrown things upside down, injured you, hurt you, perhaps betrayed you. There's been some major breakdown in a situation that is covering you right now, and you are trying to figure out, well, what do I do now? What direction do I go in? What why did the situation change so drastically, or why is someone treating me the way that they are? So there's some pain and some heartache in the Ten of Swords, which is at the center of this reading. Now, what's upsetting about that is that in the past, which would represent perhaps the last few months, you have the Fool here, and the Fool here represents some kind of new beginning. Okay, you are the third sign that has received this Fool card in the recent past, and so there have been new beginnings. There has been kind of a taking a leap of faith, stepping off the cliff here into something new, something untried and unknown, perhaps starting a new path, moving along a new path, beginning a spiritual journey or a physical journey or an emotional journey, okay, with a sense of optimism, with a sense of newness, with a lighthearted, kind of childish happiness and outlook about the future, and excitement about the future, okay? Kind of not worrying about anything, but let's just get started. Let's just start somewhere and move and see where this thing goes, okay? Now, we talked about your fifth house being highlighted, which is your romantic house, and we talked about the ninth house. So, there could have been some, next to the Fool here is the Six of Cups. So I feel like perhaps someone from your past has returned into your life, or did return into your life, someone that you may have been previously involved with, and there was a spark of of happiness, of nostalgia, of good memories, thinking back on happy occasions, or happy events that you may have experienced with this person. The Six of Cups can often talk about karmic relationships, okay? It can talk about soulmate connections. Now, I say that very carefully because, there is the possibility that there is more than one soulmate in the world for everyone, okay? And a soulmate can be a lover, but a soulmate can also be a relative, or a very deep, close friend, close friendship, all right? These are people who we believe have traveled with us through many lifetimes, and that some believe that groups of souls travel together, and we incarnate in different relationships to each other in each lifetime. So, possibly someone who was a spouse reincarnates, in this lifetime as your child, or, or vice versa. So, now, when the Six of Cups comes up, it can mean a romantic relationship, but it can also mean just a karmic, emotional connection to another soul, to another person. The Eight of Pentacles is below this Six of Cups. So when I see the Eight of Pentacles in the reversed position, it tells me that there was some kind of effort being made to build. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles is usually a work card or a skill. So you see a person who is at the draft board, or at their craft, carving away at the pentacles, leaving their mark in something, really working hard and diligently. When I see the Eight of Pentacles reversed, it takes the wind out of that sail. It says that, well, it's something we've worked toward, but it didn't really ever come to fruition. It didn't really ever yield the promise that was hoped for in it, okay, in that situation. So perhaps, and why I'm feeling that this may be a romantic relationship, is that there is a Queen of Wands here crowning the reading. The Queen of Wands is a court card that can represent a fire sign, which could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. It could be male or female in your life. And I feel that whatever this Ten of Swords is that has happened, it may be in relation to this Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands energy is very fiery, very passionate. In its reverse position, it can talk about someone who is very egotistical, kind of selfish, and so there may have been some kind of situation where you feel that you were treated this way by this Queen of Wands energy, male or female, okay? So it may have been a relationship that started off with a lot of, looking forward to the future, a lot of promise perhaps, but then something happened to derail the situation, and either you or that person kind of lost the impetus to continue on, to keep building, or perhaps either you or this person, but I feel it was you, may have wanted more or stronger connection than the Queen of Wands energy did. They are more focused on perhaps their own life, their own career perhaps, their own professional ambitions. They can be very ambitious to the deficit of other things in their life. So it may be a situation where work or a professional professional striving is the more important focus for this Queen of Wands energy than actually building and getting deeper into a relationship. And that may have happened. Now, with the Ten of Swords on you, this person may have come back, or you may have reconnected in some way with them. But with Justice reversed at the base of the reading, there is some unfair treatment, okay? And I feel that you were the person who was treated unfairly here. You got the short end of the stick. You may have devoted a lot of time and love and energy to this, or really made every effort to make progress in this relationship, but the other person was not on the same schedule as you, or on the same path in their life. And so I believe that perhaps running into this person, or them coming back, or getting back in touch with you, has really kind of brought up all that what has happened before, okay? It may be a breakup, a separation, possibly a divorce. This could be a former spouse. With the Justice card here, it can represent legal action. So this could be someone that you were married to. And there may have been some communication with that person recently that has brought up a lot of tension and negative feelings about them because of the failure of the relationship, or the failure of the communication to know where the other person was at, and what they wanted and what they didn't want, and how different it might be from what you wanted. Now, in the near future, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Strength card reversed. So again, there is a feeling of disappointment, perhaps, or thinking back again on what could have been, or what was lost, a separation. This is within the next 2 weeks, okay? So my feeling here is that if someone does come back into your relationship, into your life from the past, it's going to be very important for you to take your time and really think carefully about reconnecting with this person, getting back involved, because the way that this person is coming up in your reading here is, still not supportive, I feel, of your goals or what it is that you are wanting to, to achieve in your emotional life, perhaps, or just in your life path. The Strength card is reversed, and, again, a potential that this may be a weak situation, that you may not either have the strength to get back into or have the strength to deal with another round of this person's drama, perhaps, or disappointing, behavior towards you, or just generally lack of support or lack of consideration for your feelings. All right. So definitely, there is the Ace of Swords at the base of the deck. And what the Ace of Swords says to me is it may be time to cut this person out of your life permanently. All right. The Ace of Swords is you wielding your sword, swooping down with the sword and cutting through the lies, the drama, cutting through what is no longer useful in your life so that you can see what the truth and the reality is. The Ace of Swords is a very powerful card, and at the base of this reading it is saying that you have the power in your hands to determine or to guide how this situation goes and how you are affected by it, okay? So use the power of the Ace of Swords very carefully after much consideration. Swords are mental activity, critical thinking, careful thinking. And, whenever I see the Ace of Swords here, it's just interesting. On this deck, the Ace of Swords is pointed down into this crab. So this may be someone who has Cancer strong in their chart, and it may be a situation where you need to subdue this person. That's your sword slicing down or pinning this crab down. So, Cancer may be involved here. There also is a need to, at the outcome of this period, where we're talking about after the new moon, right before the new moon in June, which is June 6th, which is represented by this card, the Hermit. This is kind of a feeling of kind of going your own way. And keeping your own company, keeping your own counsel. You may decide that it's not worth the effort or it's not worth the pain to reconnect or, get back into something with this person, and kind of decide to just go off on your own, okay, and be the Hermit here. The Hermit is very wise. The Hermit is looking for truth. Okay, that's what the Hermit is seeking. The Hermit is seeking truth, and they would rather be by themselves along their journey to the light and to truth than be in the midst of those who are not wise, who are not on the same spiritual level as the Hermit. Okay, the Hermit tells you to listen to your own inner voice. Listen to the wise inner guide that is within you, and you already know the answer. You will know the answer for sure by the end of this new moon cycle. But this says that you hold the answer to the questions that you have right now about this situation. The light is there. Allow the light to shine, and even if you need to just detach yourself, spend some time alone, go off into nature, go for a walk in the moonlight, whatever you need to do to gain clarity here, you should do. The Hermit also can signify someone in your life who is very wise, who has a lot of good advice for you, maybe an older person, perhaps a family member, but it could just be a friend as well, who you can kind of run the situation by and who will give you good advice and help clarify things for you, okay? So, this is a good resolution to this reading, where you may be tempted to go back to the past here, okay, to something that perhaps began with, as I said, with the potential of promise. But, you must keep in mind that you do not deserve to be abused. You don't deserve to be treated selfishly. You don't deserve to be treated unfairly. Capricorn. So be sure that you are weighing carefully, the effects of someone that someone has had in your life, and vet that person. Capricorn, you're the natural born leader. You're a natural born CEO, manager, you are a master of whatever it is that you set your ambitions on. If this is an emotional situation, make sure that you are vetting this person the same way that you would vet someone who works for you, okay, or who you are going to go into a business partnership with. Do the same kind of due diligence on someone that you may partner with in your emotional and romantic life, because that person can have even a greater effect on your life long term than even, a business associate or someone who you may have a detached relationship with, okay? So use that Capricorn skill of discernment and of critical thought and critical analysis. All right, so I do hope that this reading resonated or helped you, Capricorn. Thank you so much for liking and sharing my videos and for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your support. If you would like a private reading to find out how those 5 planets in the retrograde motion are affecting you in your chart, please contact me for a private reading. And as always, I thank you so much, and I wish you love and peace and joy, and I bid you namaste.